Hey guys, this is Miss Mila, affiliate Pokemon TCGO streamer on Twitch.tv, and you're listening to Deaddrawgaming, like no one ever was.
What's up, Dead Drawers, and welcome to episode number 81 of Deaddrawgaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was. We have a super exciting episode for you guys today, so if you are hyped just like we are, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. But first, you guys, before we get too far into things today, I am going to go ahead and introduce you to my co-hosts who are with me every single week. Hello, Danny. Hello, Darren. What is going on today, boys?
What up, Dead Drawers? Darren here. I am very excited to be here today. I have a lot to be excited about. I have my first tournament in forever on Sunday. Like, it's been a long, long time. Getting back into it. The tournaments and the judging and the organizing and gonna be fun. Danny, how are you?
I am doing just fine. I'm a little bit disappointed because Forbidden Light comes out next week, Friday, May 4th. And unfortunately, it seems like we're going to be getting our stock a little bit late. Typically, we get it about a week before. Comes on a Saturday, which is nice because then it gives us the weekend to pack stuff up, get it shipped out right away on Monday. But it looks like it's going to be delayed in the shipping process. And because it's getting delayed in the shipping process, that means I'll get it a couple days late. So I probably won't get it until Tuesday, which means I'll have to spend basically all night packing up pre-orders and probably just not sleep, which is kind of unfortunate. It's happened before. It'll happen again. You just kind of roll with it. Other than that, I'm doing fine. I ran 3.5 miles at like a 7.5 minute pace.
I don't think I've run like 3.5 miles in my life.
Wow.
Total? Wow.
So I'm kidding, nice. But it kind of feels like that.
I'm slowly climbing, working my way up, which is nice. It's gonna take some time. And the weather's finally nice enough where I can run outside. I haven't yet, but it's getting nice enough where I finally can run outside, which will be a lot better because then it's more. Running is never enjoyable, I don't think, but it's more close to enjoyable if it's outside.
Well, yeah, especially like these past few days, like it's been beautiful out. Like even if it was the middle of the summer day, it's been beautiful. It was like when I left work today, it was like 71, sunny and no wind. It's like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
That seems perfect.
How are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing, guys, I had such a good day today. Got a brand new pair of shoes. My boss bought me lunch at work. My Pokevault package came in today, which I was pretty excited about. There's a YouTube video coming out soon of me opening that box. Yeah. With a lot of goodies. Just really good day.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And you get a podcast.
And I get to podcast.
What are we talking about in this podcast?
Well, first off, we're going to start you guys with Strike and Run Dunsparce. I mean, Pokemon news.
There's Pokemon bigger news than that.
Nope. No, there's not. Then we're gonna get.
There is much bigger news.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you ask.
Fair.
Then we're gonna get into the Latin America Intercontinental Championship prelude. Then we're gonna talk about Forbidden Light pre-order prices, and then it is the long-awaited return of the DannyBox. Then we will get into our weekly top 5, our top 5 Pokemon that we forgot existed. Then we'll do our question of the week, our best sale trade of the week, our open discussion, and our wrap. I will kick it on over to Danny and Darren, who will start off this week by talking about our non-TCG news.
I'll hop in with some Pokemon Go news as usual. First of all, Moltres will be your 4th week research encounter, and it looks like we are going to have a different legendary each month because, as of today, Niantic has announced that starting on May 1st at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can catch yourself, or you can start solving new quests to get yourself a Zapdos. Zapdos is here. Oh. Oh, not quite yet, but man, just a few days away, we can start.
It's like a week.
I'm excited, man. Like,
It's like
Zapdos
one whole week.
is fantastic. But it looks like you're going to be able to catch up to 4 of each legendary.
That's through the quest thing, right?
Yeah, that's the
Cool.
that's the 7-day one.
I like Zapdos.
Yeah. Otherwise, for Pokemon Go, we still have Latios right now in the U.S. and boy, I guess I don't know. Let me see if I can find anything on when that's changing, because it should be soon, right? Right?
I don't think so.
I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer to that.
I don't, but I kind of threw in a little bit just to try and make it seem like I had any idea.
No clue. No clue. Finally, I guess there was some APK study done, and looks like rock types are getting a new Smackdown attack, whatever that means. And it looks like you'll be able to report incorrect weather conditions so that Pokemon Go can get a little bit better about what weather they actually show in the game, because it can be hit or miss. So yeah, kind of a slow week other than just the Zapdos news announced today for Pokemon Go.
There was something, and I guess I don't know if this ties into anything that you were saying, but there's a little something that says following the success of Earth Day's special cleanup events, the special event of Stardust for water, ground, and grass type Pokemon has begun and is set to last until April 30th. With this, there has also been numerous reports of shiny Wailmer, which are currently being investigated.
Ah, okay. That would kind of explain why I had 300 Stardust showing up for things and why there's so many Wailmer everywhere.
But not a shiny one yet?
I haven't seen a shiny one yet. No, but I'm happy to catch them all because I don't have a Wailord and it takes 400 candy.
That's a lot of candy.
Good times. Yeah.
Anything else for Pokemon Go, or is that pretty much...
No, just personally, I got another EX raid invite, so that's fun.
Nice.
It's for Sunday, so I won't be there.
You'll be busy doing other things.
Yeah, I'll be doing my first Pokemon tournament.
Hooray!
Hooray! But yeah, that's it for Go. Danny, what do we got for video game? Anything good?
Not too much. I think the new battle competition is starting right now. I think that begins on April 26th and goes until April 29th. So when you're getting this, registration is already over with. You should be participating in battles at that point. For those of you who are in the United States, the latest distribution to celebrate the year of the legendary Pokemon has begun. So this distribution is available at Target stores where you'll receive serial codes and runs through April 29th. Like the other distributions, they differ between games, with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moons being level 100 with a gold bottle cap, and Sun and Moons being level 60. Sun and Ultra Sun get Entei, while Moon and Ultra Moon get Raikou. So that's pretty cool. And then the last bit that I have is promotional material placed out in GameStop stores early have confirmed the details for the distribution of Yveltal and Xerneas in the U.S. So if you go to GameStop stores from May 4th to May 27th, you'll be able to receive Yveltal in Sun and Ultra Sun and Xerneas in Moon and Ultra Moon. This follows on as the 4th month of the Pokemon Company's Year of Legendary Pokemon celebration. So there you go, Dan. You can get Entei and Xerneas.
Can I put them into Pokemon Crystal?
Nope. Man, I love Xerneas. Great Pokemon.
Xerneas is pretty cool, yeah.
I'm a fan of Xerneas. I can roll with that.
It's the best deer Pokemon.
Better than Deerling?
Yep, and Sawsbuck. And Stantler.
We might hit some of those later.
Ooh. Oh.
All right. Well, we can move on to some TCG-related news. We'll save the biggest bit of news, at least in probably mine and Darren's opinion, for the end.
Yeah,
and
I didn't talk about Strike and Run Clay yet.
Why don't you talk about it right now?
Oh, I thought you wanted to wait till the end for the biggest news.
According to Darren and I, the biggest news.
Yeah, it's Dunsparce, right?
Nope.
All right, fine. We'll start with the biggest news. So
I wasn't even around when this was a thing.
That's not the point.
Okay.
Anyways, you guys, Dunsparce from Champion Road has now been revealed. Dunsparce, it is an exact reprint from EX Sandstorm, and it reads Dunsparce. It is a normal Pokemon with 50 HP. It is a basic. Strike and run, 1 colorless energy. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon and put them on your bench. Then shuffle your deck. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. Its second attack for also 1 colorless energy. Sudden Flash does 10 damage. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent active Pokemon is now paralyzed. It is weak to fighting, has no resistance, and a retreat cost of 1. This card is busted.
What makes it busted?
Dude, strike and run.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Couldn't put that together. What makes it busted when it comes out? What are you going to pair it with?
Wob.
For the month that Wob is active? Or is playable?
Glaceon?
Glaceon's not a basic.
Well, it evolved from a basic.
Very true. That is true. So you're going to put 4 Dunsparce and something line.
So here's the thing, right? It definitely helps if you're going second, because it won't require you to like turn 1 Bridget. Again, I know these cards are not going to be in the same format for very long, but like this is going to, I think, like not effectively replace Bridget, because a lot of people have already started doing that with Nest Ball, but this just allows you, like, if you're playing it and you start it like you really hope you will, it allows you to not have to dig for some of the cards that you would originally. You can Lele for different supporters. You can Nest Ball for different Pokemon. You don't even have to play Nest Balls. You can play different balls now. Like, Trigger, just trust.
This would be so much cooler if it was an energyless attack.
That would be super good.
That'd be busted.
It's more busted. It's already busted.
I mean, I'm sure it's good.
Plus bubble?
What did you play this in? Or when
it was around, literally everything.
Everything played it?
Yep.
Darren, you weren't around for those days, right?
Except
I wasn't.
The Magma decks, I don't think played this. I played Zangoose instead, but
I don't mean to rain on your parade too much, Dan, but it's not 100% for sure if we're going to be able to use the old copies.
Yeah, there's something with the paralyzed thing where it says you can't use this attack, right?
It's because the old one had wording that included the double battle format, which is no longer a thing. Also, I think the height and weight might be different.
Does that really impact?
Does that matter?
I hope not, but Cedric Juniper...
And why would it be different?
Cedric Juniper's height and weight was different?
No, Cedric Juniper, you have to guess the weight on a card. If you guess it right, you get to draw 3 cards. Oh.
Come on.
I don't know.
Isn't the previous Dunsparce, isn't it pretty expensive?
I guess like that's not something that I've gone and looked at, so I'm uncertain, but I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Right now, the judging community, no one's really sure. It could go either direction if this card's allowed, or if the old version of this card is allowed or not. We'll have to see what Japan says.
Japan tells all.
I mean, yeah.
They get to decide. What say you, Japan?
Busted news. Yeah, let's just call Japan real quick. Hello, Japan?
Oh, man.
Konnichiwa.
That's good.
I think that means yes, we can use them.
They answer the telephone, moshi moshi, moshi moshi. That means hello.
What does that mean?
It means I'm answering the telephone. Moshi moshi is how you greet someone on the telephone in Japan. At least in anime. I don't know if they actually do that in Japan. I've never spoken with a Japanese person over the phone. So. Why don't I go ahead and grab the next leak? Let's talk about Ho-Oh revealed for Champion Road. Ho-Oh coming out in this May 6th set. Thank you, Bangires, for the translation. So Ho-Oh, 130 HP, colorless Pokemon. Basic, of course. Its only attack for 3 colorless energy is Rainbow Burn. 30 plus damage. This attack does 30 more damage for each type of basic energy attached to this Pokemon. Interesting.
Knee bad. Yawn. not a fan. I love the old art, but like outside of that, this card it's just bad.
Yeah, the old art is really cool, but the card itself isn't very good. I mean, there's nothing. 3 colorless is an expensive. I mean, that's an expensive energy cost to. Realistically, if you were hitting all of your spots, do 150 damage roughly, 160.
Yeah, this isn't very good. It's frustrating. It should be do 40 plus or 50 plus would be perfect. Then this card would be awesome. Because you're never running that many basic energy in a deck anyway. Then if it did 50 plus, it would be its own deck.
It's hard to say, I guess, but it just seems like it seems tough.
Yeah, it's really just the art that's exciting about this. I like the old art, I like the throwback to that, but other than that, it's just something that's going to sit in your binder, and I don't know if it's a rare or not. I would assume it is, but
according to this picture we got, it is.
Okay. Wow.
There you go.
Good old Neo Revelations.
Yep. All right, let's move on. I'm going to take one of these GXs, and I'm going to take Electro GX.
Yes.
So Electro GX, 190 HP, Lightning Pokemon. Stage 1, evolves from Voltorb. It's got an ability called Extra Energy Bomber. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. This counts as knocking out this Pokemon. If you do, you can search your discard pile for 5 energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you'd like. So you could partner this up with your Ho-Oh. And then for 1 lightning and 1 colorless, it does Energy Ball, which is 50 damage. Then for a lightning and a colorless, it does Crash and Burn GX, which is 30 plus damage. You may discard as many energy as you like attached to your Pokemon in play. If you do this attack, does 50 more damage for each energy you discarded in this way. So your GX attack, pretty safe to say you're going to be taking some knockouts, but you can only use it once. Its energy ball attack is bad, and its ability it's okay, but you're giving up 2 prizes.
No, but you missed one part that really matters. You can't attach those 5 energy cards to Pokemon EX or GX. That sucks.
You just attach them before they evolve. Problem solved.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, you're right. No, never mind. This is a good card now.
So, no, this is. So, if I remember correctly, when there was Electrode EX that had a very similar ability back in the day, and Puka, I believe, took it to nationals. This and an Executor. I believe it was those 2 cards that he took either to Nats. I don't remember exactly what it was. It's something nutty, and you could just build it all over again. Energy Bomber onto all the executes. Boom. Then you use that upcoming or that Executor attack where you search for all your Executors.
Oh man,
you got Electrode Executor all over again.
I'm not seeing anything good about this card, really. I'm
Also,
sure that there's something that I'm not thinking of, but this is very similar to it's got pretty much a similar ability to the Evolutions Electrode.
Someone's gonna break this card.
I'm sure they will. I'm
5
sure it'll
energy,
be good
and it can be special energy. It doesn't say basic energy. This card's nuts. Yeah. Also, I mentioned this to Darren earlier, but I think this is the first time I've ever liked a 5-band graphics illustration.
Yeah, this card art is amazing.
It's very good looking. I'm not normally a fan of 5-band, but this is awesome.
Yo, this card, if your opponent doesn't get a knockout on you on your first turn, this is a turn 2 B-string, because you can get 5 energy from your discard pile if you got them in there somehow, and then you'd be at 4 prizes.
With Baby Buzz.
Yeah, but is it worth it giving up 2 prizes? Because
absolutely. All that energy. Okay, imagine you do this. You have 4 Baby Buzz. You literally, at that point, between the 5 here and all the B strings, you can put plus your attachment 13 energy on turn 2.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily win you. It's not. The game isn't decided by who has most energy in play.
I mean, no.
All you need is a DCE for a Zoroark.
No, it wouldn't knock out Baby Buzz.
A DCE with a Zoroark. How much HP does a baby Buzzwole have?
I'm pretty sure it's 130. Let me look.
And that's not getting knocked out by a Zoroark?
Buzzwole 130. Not unless that Zoroark played Kukui that turn.
Possible.
If it does play Kukui that turn. Or
Yeah.
plus power.
I'm saying, jeepers. All I'm saying is that this is an option to get you down to 4 prize cards on your own turn, so then you can play your own B string on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Not that you'd be attaching to 4, not that people are going to be playing 4 baby Buzzwoles, but still.
Isn't there that gross Guzzlord from Forbidden Light that costs like 5 energy?
That card is
does like 1 million
so
damage
bad.
if you have a certain amount of prizes left or something.
If it does 160, if you have 6, 4, or 2 prizes remaining, discard the top 10 cards from your deck.
Wow.
It's so bad.
That's
So
how you
can
get
partner
your
that up with this.
That's how you get your energy
just
in the
mill
discard
yourself.
pile. This is
All
fun.
right, Dan, talk about Bayonet.
Yes, I can do that. Banette GX. It is a stage 1 Pokemon that evolves from Shuppet. Has an ability called Shady Move that reads, once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may move 1 damage counter from either player's Pokemon to another Pokemon, yours or your opponent's. Has 2 attacks. His first attack for 1 Psychic Energy. Shadow Chant does 30 plus damage and reads, this attack does 10 more damage for each supporter card in your discard pile. You can't add more than 100 damage this way.
That's so dumb.
I agree. And then its second attack for also 1 Psychic Energy, Tomb Hunter GX. Put 3 cards from your discard pile into your hand. You can't use more than 1 GX attack in a game. It is weak to dark, resistant to fighting, has a retreat cost of 1. Is a remake from Banette EX from Legend Maker, which it was actually really interesting then. Because that was when you played a supporter, it didn't get discarded until your turn was over. Like it stayed in play.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Now that's not the case.
I like this card.
The you can't add more than 100 damage in this way. Kind of annoying. Like
Yeah.
I understand it. Like
But
you
it's only
gotta
1 Psychic. Like,
that's what was what I was gonna say. You gotta cap it for 1 energy.
I mean, you're hitting knockouts on most stuff with a Choice Band and a Kukui for 1 Psychic. Granted, that's assuming that you have 10 supporter cards in your discard pile, which you would have to
That's
run a very
really hard to
heavy
do.
supported. Yeah, you'd have to run a fairly heavy supporter deck, especially with considering we're going to be rotating N and Sycamore. But you're going to be playing Kukuis in this deck probably the way it is. And I think the ability is kind of cool. Plus 190 HP on a Banette is kind of surprising. And the card art is super cool.
The dark weakness does suck.
Yes. Good things or orcs, not a thing.
Gross.
That was also a joke.
Not only is it weak to dark, Zoroark resists it.
What if you put a fighting memory on it?
That
All right. Thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I don't think that's gonna help.
All right.
I think it definitely helps, right?
We're going to move on to Sableye. Sableye is a basic Pokemon, dark type, 70 HP. Its ability is Excavate. Once during your turn, you may look at the card on top of your deck, put that card on top of your deck, or discard that card. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then its attack is 1 colorless, disable, 10 damage, choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks. That Pokemon can't use that attack during your opponent's next turn. That's cool. This card is neat. No weakness,
This card's
no
really
resistance. Retreat cost of 1.
I wish it didn't have a retreat cost.
Oh my gosh, how cool would this card would be the coolest card if it had 0
Well,
retreat.
the second coolest card.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
You know what? This just sets you up to get the mental image of a Sableye on a skateboard. A skateboard.
I don't know. I like this card a lot. I think it's really cool.
I like it too.
With a lot of card decks that are out there right now, like if you're going against Buzzwole, you can disable Jet Punch. Granted, you're assuming people. In the current format, a lot of people are going to be able to switch out their cards. But with Floatstone rotating, Guzma's going to have to be a bigger thing. I think that this is pretty cool. It could definitely buy you a lot more time. And rather than having like a direct reprint of Junk Hunt, I think that this is cool.
Junk Hunt's not old enough to get reprinted yet.
That's fair.
In like 3 years, they're going to reprint Junk Hunt and people are going to go nuts.
But you get what I mean as far as like Sableye was a big thing with Darkrai back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we just need another Darkrai.
Mm-hmm. Can't
Kappa.
have enough of those.
And then, I'm just going to say real quick, Rainbow Energy with a black background instead of the regular white and grays that we've been getting. This card looks so good. Only if the whole card was black, like they used to be.
It might be for the secret rare.
Oh, that would be so cool.
With a gold border?
So cool. Oh my gosh. Danny, don't get me. Oh my gosh. I need it. It has to be now.
You haven't gotten it yet.
I know.
And it's not coming out in Forbidden Light.
I still hate the ruling change.
Yeah, that stinks.
I wish it would have just been an errata. I miss using my rockets rainbows. Oh well.
Well, while Dan relives the past, I'm going to talk about Magcargo.
Yeah.
Magcargo is a stage 109, just 90 HP. Fire Pokemon, stage 1 evolves from Slugma. It's got the ability Smooth Over. Once during your turn before you attack, you may search your deck for a card, shuffle your deck, then place that card on top. For 1 fire and 2 colorless, it does Searing Shot, which is 50 damage, weak to water, resistant to nothing, and it's got a bulky retreat cost of 3.
And it's a reprint from Magcargo from EX Deoxys. Look at Danny living in the past.
That's right. So you would partner. You could make room with this if I don't know. Zoroark,
I don't know. Maybe. Right?
Yeah, this card I feel like is going to be real good. It's better than using Mallow. Mm-hmm. I think
because it's any card from your deck.
Mm-hmm. It's only one, but you're still not supporting for the turn.
That's right.
And you can do it every turn. You don't have to mount. You don't have to just once per turn.
No, it's not like you're going to use it as like a. It's just a stage 1. It's not stage 2, obviously. So and it's not like you're going to use it as a 4/4 line. You're going to use it as a 2/2 line, or
the same way you'd use like Octillery.
Yeah, or Garbotoxin.
Yeah,
it's just another way to get more items. I think that this card could be really good, especially moving into Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, first of all, there's not a whole lot of water, so you don't need to worry about. Not that it's going to ruin your life if this gets knocked out, but there's not a whole lot of grass either. So.
Well, I don't think you're going to be using Searing Shot to do
as an attack.
Damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that attack is pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. But the ability is cool. And if you've got 2 of these, search your deck for 2 cards, and then you can trade and get those, put them right in your hand.
You loved Lucario. Now get ready for Magcargo.
Yo. Magcargo, yo.
Eyo. Yeah, pretty sweet.
Dan, what else we got?
How about Slay King?
Slay King is new.
Yeah, Slay King. The reprint from EX Ruby and Sapphire. Well, similar. It is a stage 2 colorless Pokemon with 160 HP, and it evolves from Vigoroth. It has an ability called Lazy that reads, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon have no abilities other than Lazy. And its attack for colorless. Critical move does 160 damage. Discard a basic energy from this Pokemon. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. It is weak to fighting, has no resistance, and a retreat cost of 3. So I know it's a stage 2, but this seems super good, right?
It does seem really good to me.
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, okay, so being stage 2 sucks, of course, but that's a good ability. And
ability locking ability locking your opponent and not ability locking yourself is just so good.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, critical move, 160 damage. It does take at least 2 attachments, and then you have to attach every turn. I don't know, man. I feel like this would be a fun League Challenge deck or League Cup deck even.
I don't know. I agree that critical move isn't terrible. You know, you can easily knock out a lot of stuff with
Choice band
attached.
That's
Its
cool.
ability is fine, I guess, but in a lot of circumstances, Wobbuffet's going to be better.
Wobbuffet doesn't stop Tapu Lele.
That's true, but I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like getting this out, like Wobbuffet you can have active on turn 1. This you can't have active until turn 3 or turn 2 if you rare candy into it.
After you strike and run.
I'm going to use my rare candy on this Slay King.
Yeah, I mean, actually.
I don't know. I just think it's for stage 2. I would rather just use like a Alolan Muck or...
I just think the ability,
or,
even on a stage 2, is way too good to look past it right away.
I'm not going to look past it right away.
Like, this card
I'm not
has
saying
to be talked about.
It's not like it's, you know, this is actually a decent week for card leaks compared to other weeks, because I think that all these cards have potential in the future, so it's definitely not something that I would just throw in the bulk pile right away. But at the same time, I don't think it comes out and it's like, oh, this thing, like, this is the set that's going to impact Worlds or could impact Worlds. I don't see this card impacting Worlds this year. Next year, maybe. I don't know. It depends on the format, but right now, I don't see it happening.
I think that, who knows, maybe Slackoth and Vigoroth will have some super cool attacks or abilities or something.
Maybe something. Yeah, hopefully.
So,
Hopefully, yeah. Can you imagine if Vigoroth, like being, you know, like a fast, crazy Pokemon, like what if he has like
monkey duplicates.
or like adaptive evolution or
whatever.
something. You know, like how the Butterfree line, you can just evolve at the same turn.
Oh my god,
That'd
be so good.
Right?
That would make this card busted. Oh my gosh.
All right, I'm going to take something small, and then I think this is the last little bit of news, and then Darren can take the big thing.
Yes.
We already talked
Okay.
about this.
Oh, you're ready.
You're ready. The Shaman promo giveaway is coming at Japan's Pokemon Center. So to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Japan's Pokemon Center stores, fans who visit one starting April 25th will receive a Hollow Shaman promo. I wonder if we can get Pokeball to send us some of these.
I'm sure we could.
So Shaman, Grass Pokemon, HP 80, Basic Pokemon. It's got the ability Seal of Gratitude. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may draw a card. Then your opponent may draw a card. And then for 1 Grass Energy, it does Energy Flare. Attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your hand to one of your benched Pokemon. Weak to fire, resistant to nothing, and a retreat cost of 1. The card art is really cute. I like it a lot. And that's about it.
The other last thing before the second biggest news of the week, the logo for Celestial Storm came out, or at least an HD version of it, and it's super awesome.
I like it.
We can talk about the second biggest news now.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Right before one of the largest events of the year, an international championship, we find out that the prize card penalty has been removed and replaced with double prize card penalty and quad prize card penalty. Wow. Okay, and even better, your opponent, or let's say your opponent gets this penalty, you don't take those prizes. You just win sooner. So
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's bonkers. So here, let's break this down. So as of last week, when you're playing in a tournament, any judges that is keeping up with this, they'll know the new rules. But in case you are at a tournament in maybe a smaller town or you have a judge staff that doesn't pay attention to the world of Pokemon for whatever reason, let them know that, first of all, drawing an extra card is now a warning again, like it was a year ago, instead of being a prize card penalty.
That I don't like.
I don't like that either.
It's what it is. Like, it can be escalated quickly, so if there's an issue, it can be escalated to a double prize card penalty. This is how it works. Let's say your opponent gets a double prize card penalty for whatever reason that they would get it. You don't take your 2 prizes. Instead of, let's say you have 6 prizes, instead of winning when you take your 6th prize, you will win when you take your 4th prize. The reason that they did this is because there are so many cards coming out now that that they get a boost from how many prizes your opponent has, how many prizes you have. It just would cause a whole mess of potentially people gaming the system to, intentionally get penalties, for example, to activate their B-string, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, now judges are going to put a little slip of paper next to your prize cards that says, you will win when you take this many prizes. I think it's a great change. I think it's a stronger stance. It's as long as the penalties are handed out according to the guidelines, this is great. This is everything that people have been asking for. Harsher penalties for people doing things that are wrong.
Is there a discretionary situation where judges can make different, can you change basically the penalty that's issued based on the situation? So in specific, let me just ask what I'm trying to ask here. There was some conversation going around involving mill decks. So if I'm playing a mill deck, like if I'm playing Wailord Mill or Hoopa Mill or something like that, and I'm not taking prizes, and let's say I'm playing against Dan, and Dan goes ahead and baits me or something, does something that would warrant a double prize penalty. Well, I'm not taking prizes anyways, so how does that rule change benefit me? Whereas before, it could have benefited me taking those 2 cards and putting them in my deck, because that's 2 more additional resources that I can then use that I wouldn't have taken normally.
Sure. In that case specifically, the only benefit that you would find is that when you end, you still get to draw 6 instead of drawing 4 because you took 2 prizes.
That's a reason not to play mill decks then.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm kind of okay with. I'm not a big fan of mill decks. No, you're right.
Otherwise, if you're playing against a mill deck, it's okay to get prize penalties because they're not going to.
Basically, right?
Yeah. I think it makes sense. I just think that you're always going to find flaws in the system, right? Like, there's always going to be times when you're like, well, this isn't going to work because of this. This is just one scenario where this may not work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they also got rid of I don't think you said this, but they got rid of the multi-prize penalty, right? And it goes straight to a quad prize penalty now?
That's right. Yeah. So there's no longer choosing 2, 3, 4 card penalties. Now it's 2 and 4. Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So what would be the situation for a quad penalty?
The way they word it in the rule is a penalty isn't bad enough to warrant a game loss, but is more severe than a penalty that would normally earn a 2 prize card penalty.
So it'd be like breaking the game state, but not the board state.
I thought if you broke the game state, it was an automatic game loss.
Yeah, it's
breaking the game state that would be like.
Wasn't that part of the rule change also? Right. If it's irreversible game, like that's an automatic game loss now?
Basically,
or was that always the rule?
I thought it was always that way. If it was irreversible.
If something's irreversible in general, I'm sure, someone will write in and say, but this scenario. But in general, if you do something to break the game state, or do something that's irreversible, like shuffle your hand into your deck, that's a game loss.
Or your discard pile into your deck?
Yeah, that's a game loss.
That one's tough.
So are there going to be situations where there's double quad penalties handed out or double prize penalties handed out based on this?
Well, because you would escalate from double to quad, which would result in a game win and a game loss for the opponent, and then you'd go from quad also to game loss. I would imagine.
Yeah. Yes.
Like there wouldn't be anything going into your next round. I wouldn't think. Right.
No, it wouldn't carry over. All these penalties would only be assigned to the current game you're playing.
Unless it happens more than once, then you'd get DQ'd, right?
Possibly, yeah. That's totally possible. Now, this is a very new rule, and I'm sure the guidelines will be, finessed. If, they'll come out with a couple scenarios for examples. Plus, there's this brand new Professor Discord chat that is extremely helpful, and it has a lot of. Yeah, I'm in it. There's a lot of smart people in here that are debating it right now. So it's still a lot of it's still kind of in a gray area, and we're trying to get it all hammered out.
Is it conducive of Pokemon to be making this change this late in the season rather than waiting until, let's say, beginning of 2019 season, 2018, 2019?
Well, they did it at the beginning of quarter 4, right?
Right.
And
but
so
right before North American Intercontinentals and then Worlds, like, do you think we're going to have these situations all hammered out? Whereas before, at the beginning of a year, before these giant tournaments happen where wrong decisions can be made.
I personally think that this would have been a better rule change to wait for the next season. To drop it on the fourth quarter of a current season is just kind of out of the blue. No one expected it. But on the flip side, you can argue that Pokemon took the complaints of everyone, of the entire community as a whole, very seriously, and said, you know what, we need to make a change. Let's make it as quickly as we can to show how much we care about what people are saying about the penalty system we have currently. So it could be initiative, or it could be the opposite, I guess. Bad decision. I think it's a good decision. I think it's fine. I think we have enough time before NAIC, and plus the best way to avoid any confusion is to just don't break the rules, and you won't have to worry about it.
What do you think are the biggest issues of rule breaking or cheating right now in the game? The most consistent one is what?
Just drawing extra cards when your opponent isn't paying attention.
Is it intelligent then to get rid of that where it becomes just a warning now?
I don't think so. But it's a warning at level 1 tournaments, which is league challenges and league cups. Regionals are level 2. That's still a double prize penalty for drawing an extra card unwarranted.
Okay. So at a regionals, it's a double prize penalty.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yep. So your
like
locals
playing 2 supporters in a turn, double prize penalty.
At a regionals, probably, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we're continuing to take steps forward.
And if the guidelines are available, you can go to Pokemon Rules and Resources. Just Google it. That's the easiest way to get to it. Pokemon Rules and Resources will have the penalty guidelines there, and it's updated pretty frequently. And that's honestly a really good idea to do before you go to a regional tournament, is just to see if there have been any clarifications. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, they have the most recent updates that they've made listed there. So that's just for reference. But you can just read through all of the penalty guidelines, and they have examples there for certain things. I personally need to go through it again because I have my first tournament in forever coming up this weekend. So this is a huge change. I think we as a community deserved it in a good way, and I'm very happy about it. And I'm glad that they're doing it now. I can see how it would have been easier if they waited till the next season started, but I think it'll be fine.
And if you have questions, you can email Darren.
Yeah, that's right.
At deaddrawgaming@gmail.com. And I will just leave it there and let Darren answer. So you can get an intelligent response.
We had a nice email about a question last week, so I was happy to answer that. That was great.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That was our biggest news. There's also a video game change of rules. Let me just pull that up very quickly. Not as crazy big as changing prize card penalties, but
Dunsparce reprint.
the tardiness rule change. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna skip it. I can't find it now. I thought it would be really easy to find. That's why I started talking about it. All right, never mind about VG. If you have a question about the new tardiness rule, go ahead and look it up on that rules and resources, or just don't leave your game without a judge's permission and be on time. There you go.
Show up on time.
Show up on time.
What is it for TCG? You wait, 15 minutes or something? I thought right now, even if you get a time, even if you run into time issues, you're allowed to play. Normally, It's just once it gets to a certain point, it's a game loss.
Yeah, showing up to a match late, less than 5 minutes, is a warning. Showing up to a match 5 minutes or more is a game loss. You only have 5 minutes.
So if you're on lunch or something, and you show up 5 minutes late or more, you get a game loss. You start out pretty big in the hole right away.
Yeah, that's rough. You gotta win 2 in a row. Just so you guys know, double prize card penalties can be assigned for having deck list issues. So
there you go, Dan.
Writing down 4 fighting energy, but the deck actually has 4 strong energy, that'd be a double prize card penalty. Here, this is a good one. Major. Example of marked cards major. All the basic Pokemon in a player's deck are parallel hollow, causing a slight bend down. This creates a pattern that allows the player to identify basic Pokemon when cards are face down. Tier 1. That's League Challenges and League Cups. Quad prize card penalty. Tier 2. Game loss. Example of major gameplay issues that, let's just say at Tier 2. Tier 2 is a regional or above. Playing more than 1 energy card in a turn would be a double prize card penalty. Drawing an extra card. Shuffling your deck mid-game without the use of a card effect. Insufficient randomization. Failing to set up prize cards at the beginning of the game and discovering it after at least 1 search of the deck. Taking a prize card without knocking out a Pokemon. Taking too many prize cards after knocking out a Pokemon. Forgetting to put damage counters on a Pokemon from a mandatory effect such as poison. Or using an ability when a card prevents its use. Those now are double prize card penalties at regionals and above. And those are just some examples.
Nice. Well, those are some pretty big changes. I mean, I think we can all agree that, those are extremely severe, and it's a good thing that it's coming. I think it was a necessary change. My only question is, did it come out at the right time? Because we do have an intercontinental tournament coming up already this weekend, which we're going to talk about now, and that's in Latin America. So for the most part, the meta has basically stayed pretty consistent over the last several months with Zoroark and fighting.
What's up?
We got breaking news.
What? Oh, we do?
Yeah, so we should put that right before we talk about LAIC instead.
Okay, what's up?
We just got leaks of 2 different Mr. Mime GXs.
What?
Mr. Mime GX?
Mr. Mime GX. They are both psychic types. They both have 150 HP. They are both basics. They both have abilities. One is called Magic Evens. The other is called Magic Odds. Magic Evens reads, if this Pokemon would be damaged by an attack, prevent that attack's damage done to this Pokemon. If that damage is 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, or 260. It has an attack, sidekick, and colorless. That reads breakdown. That reads count the number of cards in your opponent's hand. Put that many damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. And then for 1 colorless energy, Life Trick GX. Effect currently unreadable. Great. No weakness, no retreat, and a retreat cost, no weakness, no resistance, and a retreat cost of 2. And then the other one, literally the same thing, except no damage if that damage is 10, 30, 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, or 250.
This really screws with the game, doesn't it?
Holy moly.
Looking like one of them is going to come in Champion Road and the other one is going to come in Storm.
Also, I hit refresh. I think Life Trick GX heal all damage from this Pokemon.
Oh, perfect. These cards are great.
This is busted.
Oh.
Yeah, heal all damage from this Pokemon. Yep. These reprints from EX, Fire Red, and Leaf Green.
You know what you run this with?
Anything?
Dunsparce.
Dunsparce.
Because then you just Dunsparce into 2 different Mr. Mimes and a Dong Wings Necrozma, and you just switch around like crazy, and your opponent hates their life.
Oh my gosh.
These cards are so good.
Yo, and I found the tardiness rule for video game. I'm gonna read it really quick. If one player was late to the match or was away from the match without the judge's permission for any period of time during the round, that player loses that match, unless the judge was made aware of this absence in advance of the end of the match. There you go. That's all.
There you go. Can we talk about Mr. Mime some more?
This card is so funny. I'm sorry. These cards.
Is the ability really going to say that? All that?
From the looking prints, all of these, like, it's pretty small image, but all these numbers are definitely on there.
So really what you want to do, the magic number to hit right now is 270?
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the 150 HP kind of sucks, but come on. Really? Like this, I'm sure I'm overthinking it right now. Like, I'm sure this card isn't that great. But
is there a Pokemon that doesn't allow you to attach tool cards? Like, to allow your opponent to attach tool cards?
Isn't there a stadium in Forbidden Light that doesn't allow it? Or they don't have any effect? There's a stadium in Forbidden Light that says that
something
they
like
don't have any effect, yeah.
So, because if you can't, the evens one, like, literally cannot be knocked out by Zoroark.
Gosh, that's
if
funny.
It doesn't have choice band attached.
Well, it
can't even be damaged.
A lot of cards that are out there. I mean, I don't know. This is messed up.
So fun. I'm so happy right now. Oh my gosh, these cards are great.
All right, well, let's move on. This card isn't going to be played this weekend in Latin America.
Probably.
That'd be fun to watch, but it won't be. The fun thing about Latin America is that you can watch it because Pokemon is officially streaming it, so that'll be exciting.
Hooray!
So that is this weekend. We do have one Team DDG member who will be making the trip, and that is the usual Caleb Gedimer, who's been going to just about everything this year to maintain his top 4 ranking in North America. And the meta has stayed pretty consistent. Like I was saying before, it's been shifting pretty much back and forth between fighting and Zoroark. I don't really expect a whole lot different from this week because Forbidden Light comes out next week, but it's not going to be legal for a while yet. So what are you guys thinking you will see?
Zoroark.
Yeah.
/ question mark.
Zoroark fighting.
It's going to be Zoroark paired with Name a Thing, Buzzwole, and Espeon Garb.
There you go. Boring.
I'm sure it's an intercontinental event, so I'm certain that we'll see some other things pop up outside of those. But if those aren't the top 3 played decks at the event, I'd be very surprised.
Do you think Espeon Garb is the favorite going into the weekend?
Yes, simply because it beats Buzzwole and has a better time at beating Zoroark than Zoroark has at beating Buzzwole.
And it has no problem with those Hoopa builds,
Yeah, exactly.
which Zoroark and Buzzwole do have problems with.
Right.
So really,
Which
it's the best counter right now.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you'll see some Lucario.
That's what I was thinking. Lucario seems that we talked about this, Dan, when Lucario first became legal, and there were some people that had decent performances in the last regional with it. But now it seems to be getting more figured out and started to top a lot of League Cups. So I was wondering if maybe if Lucario would be the sleeper pick for this weekend. Granted, I don't think Lucario necessarily has a big answer for Espeon Garb.
The Fates Collide Lucario. Oh, Espeon Garb. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Not a good one.
So I don't really see a whole lot changing this weekend from what we've seen in the past. A lot of it, I think, is just going to be coming down to like skill level, talent level.
Well, I mean, and you're also playing for second, right?
Are you assuming Tord's going to win?
Well, it's an Intercontinental, so yeah.
I mean, he hasn't won every Intercontinental.
He's won more than half of them.
Well, that's just the majority. That's not every. And this is the one he's never won before.
Right? How many is there? There's been 5, right? And he's won 3.
3.
Yep.
But not this one.
Yet.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm sure that this weekend you'll see a lot of Espeon Garb, like you said. I'm sure you'll see. I have a feeling that a lot of outside of North America, you see a lot of Gliscopod Garb or a lot of Gliscopod variants still with Zoroark. So I think Gliscopod will be somewhat popular down there still. Outside of the decks that you named or that we have already named, I don't really see any sleeper picks. I don't see Glaceon making a huge surge. Like, there's still going to be a few decks that come out of the woodwork that maybe take a spot or two in the top 32, but I don't think it's going to be anything that wins or anything that matters that much at the end of the day. You know, you're not going to see that Venusaur from Shining Legends come out and just miss top 8, you know, that nobody thought about.
Not at this tournament, no.
I think it's just going to be a continuation of what we know as a very stale is the word for it format.
Yeah, isn't it stale? Like, isn't that boring?
Yeah, I'm bored with it. Like, I understand that it's balanced and fairly healthy, but it's stale. It's boring.
Yeah, I think the reason it's so boring is because it's been so long and because Ultra Prism had virtually no impact on the meta.
Well, Crimson Invasion barely did either outside of Buzzwole. Like,
yeah, but Buzzwole had a big impact on the meta.
Yeah, but even then, realistically, we've had 2 cards that have changed the meta since Burning Shadows. 2.
Yeah, and I think that's what has impacted things.
Like, Burning Shadows definitely changed a lot with Gardevoir and Golisopod and Guzma and all the other cards that came out. And then there was Zoroark, and then there was Buzzwole. Like, after that. It's just...
Yeah, and then in Ultra Prism, the only relevant card right now is... The only relevant card in Ultra Prism is Cynthia right now.
Yeah, like, Ultra Prism did literally nothing.
That's disappointing. I mean, Glaceon has seen some play, but other than Glaceon, like, if you look at prices they're all bulk prices right now for all the GXs except for Duskmane, and Glaceon. Like, Dawn Wings is just barely above, but you have Silvally, you have Dialga, you have Palkia, like Leafeon. All those cards are $1.25 bulk GX cards. There's not really any trainers that were super exciting. You know, everybody thought Weavile was going to be a thing, and whether it's just not figured out, it's underperforming. Buzzwole is running rampant in the format, so that affects it. Like, there's just a lot of stuff out there. I think that Ultra Prism came out, there was some hype behind it, but there just wasn't. It just came out in a meta that it was doomed to fail in. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I think that's what makes it stale. I would like to see something different. Like, I'm sure there'll be some Greninja down there. I would like to see something different come out of the woodworks, but we do have Forbidden Light coming out fairly soon, and that should impact the meta hopefully a little bit. We'll see.
I imagine it will with things like Ultra and Across.
But as far as Latin America goes, do you guys have any hunches on what you think is going to take home? Do you want to make any guesses at who's going to win? Are you just going to stick with Tord and play it safe? What are we thinking?
I want to say something that's not the three that I already mentioned as far as winning, but I can't.
So do it. Go out on a limb. Be different.
No, Espeon Garb.
Be the change you want to see.
I'm not going to Brazil. Otherwise, I would.
Do you want to say who's going to be playing the winning Espeon Garb build?
No. No.
That's really weird because usually I say let's pick a winner, and you're like, do you want us to pick a winner of the player who's going to win or the deck that's going to win? Which usually means that you have a player in mind already.
Well, I always think Caleb's going to win everything, but I don't think Caleb's going to play Espeon Garb.
Okay. Fair enough. Darren?
I'm going to say something else.
Perfect deck choice.
I'm going to
Dumb sparse Mr. Mime. There it is.
I'm going to say Galissapod Zoroark, and it's going to be Diego. He's going to come back.
Diego, defending world's champion.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, just to be different and not make a huge difference, but I was going to say Zoroark Lucario. And I'm just going to go with Michael Pramawat. Just say I don't have any idea what he's going to play.
Go with Pram.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what he's playing. But I'm going to say he's winning and he's playing Zoroark Lucario.
Man, imagine he does win, right? Pram and Tord have more IC victories. They make him 5 of the 7 that there's been. Like,
they're pretty good at the game.
Yeah, both of them. Crazy.
Are you guys going to be paying attention to the stream?
No.
I will.
Nope. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, like I won't be watching the stream because my brother turns 21 this weekend, so I'm gonna be hanging out with him back in North Dakota.
Making the trip home, huh?
Yeah.
Darren, are you gonna have a TV set up at your tournament for the?
Ooh.
I guess I don't know what the time difference is like over there.
There is none.
I think Sao Paulo is 3 hours ahead of us in Central Time.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't think there's a time change. I think it's in Central. Maybe.
I don't know. Brett was 3 hours ahead of me when I recorded with him. That's
he was?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, then very likely 3 hours. There you go. Why not?
What time?
Oh yeah, Brett will be there. So we have 2 members of Team DDG going.
Brad Stratton's gonna win. It's Sao Paulo is 2 hours ahead of Central Time, so they're GMT -3.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
It'll be fun.
All right. Well, that wasn't so much of a prelude, just because there's not a whole lot changing. Hopefully soon. I would like to get some of our.
When we do a Madison prelude, do you know how awesome it's going to be? We're going to be able to talk about so much because it's going to be a new set, actual new changes to the meta. Hopefully. Yeah,
I'd also like to do more stuff with our team as far as recording maybe YouTube videos and do like a meta forecast or something like that for an upcoming prelude, or maybe we get, some of the pro team to talk about, just because they're so much more knowledgeable and they have so many more friends in the inner circle that they can have a better analysis of what they're expecting to be played, what does well, things like that.
And that sounds like it'd be actually valuable information.
Unlike what we're handing out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We
just listen to us for the lulls that I provide.
Exactly. That's right.
Ha 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 ha.
All right. Well, we can move on to Forbidden Light because that's coming out soon. And there are pre-release prices. They started pre-releases last week, midnight pre-releases on Thursday night. There's been a lot of hype behind the set. You know, originally I wasn't very excited about this set, but the good thing about some of these sets is when there's non-ultra rares that have value and have worth to them. And Forbidden Light definitely has some cards that are not ultra rare specific that can make an impact on the format. Right, Dan?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think actually
being one of them, one of the big ones.
Buzzwole, B-String, Mysterious Treasures getting some hype. Malamar. I think that there's probably more excitement behind the non-ultra rares than there are about the ultra rares. You know, when I've gotten
nuts.
When I've gotten requests, it's been outside of Ultra Necrozma. There hasn't been a whole lot of GXs. There's been some Prism Stars that have been highly requested, but other than that, there's not a whole lot. Have you guys seen? I've watched some of the YouTube videos as far as like early unboxing goes and things like that, and it looks like the pull rates are fairly similar to what you see in what we saw in Ultra Prism, with the caveat of there must have been a packaging error at some point because some of the packs that were opened had, and this could just be in the pre-release kits, had all 3 Prism Stars in one pack, which is pretty weird.
Yeah.
That would be a nice pack to open, I guess.
Wow.
So before I dive too deeply into the actual pre-order pricing and how that's been going so far, I do want to highlight the fact that I was talking to some of our distributors recently, and I upped our pre-order on Monday of this week, and I was only allowed to order one more case of the set because that's all that they have allocated to them as a distributor, and they do not expect to be able to get much more. So with that being said, it seems like this set is going the way that Ultra Prism went. And I know for some reason it boggles my mind how people are still arguing that Ultra Prism is going to get reprinted. And the reason it hasn't been reprinted is because they need to fix Cyrus.
Wait, like, people are still saying that?
How long ago? And that is still an argument.
No way.
If they were going to reprint Cyrus, it would have been done by now.
Oh,
Ultra Prism is not getting reprinted. It's just not. It is.
Yeah, but Danny, we're distributors and we just want to make more sales.
Mm-hmm, exactly. I do think that there's a lot of distributors out there who are holding on to extra cases, you know, that they won't sell everything that they have just because they want to be able to continue to stock some of these items and then sell them at a little bit higher of a price tag to increase their margins, which is fine and understandable. Like, we can still order Ultra Prism from our distributor, but it's more expensive than if we ordered Burning Shadows or if we ordered Crimson Invasion. Granted, Crimson Invasion is only worth like $10 for a case,
right?
So it's always not worth it regardless. But we can still get Ultra Prism, but it's about $4 or $5 more per booster box than what it would normally be, you know, for like Crimson Invasion or Burning Shadows or Sun and Moon base. Guardians Rising also seems to be going out of print, but that set was just so vastly produced that it doesn't have that big of an impact. But I think it's crazy to me how, and it's great. Like, I enjoy this, that the fact that they are limiting their run to make these cards less attainable, I guess, and have more value over the long haul, over time. I think that's, but there still seems to be plenty for the market. It's just not as easily accessible, if that makes sense, which is nice in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think this is a real problem at all.
Yeah, I just can't believe that there's still people who argue about the fact that Ultra Prism will be reprinted. It's just not reprinted yet.
Well, I think, okay, imagine in 2 years, right? 8 new sets have come out. We're getting promo boxes. Let's still have Steam Siege and Evolutions.
Oh my gosh. 2020.
That's got to be part of the problem, right? Is they have so, like, Pokemon just in general has so much overstock of these sets that didn't sell, like, at all. like they don't want to make that mistake again. They don't want to keep putting these awful packs in collection boxes. And they part of it has to be the same thing, right? I don't see that they don't want to. They would rather not have the product than keep putting out terrible packs in collection boxes.
Plus,
No, definitely.
to build on that, a second benefit is engineered scarcity creates hype. You know, people are going to go out to buy that box of cards if they think they won't be able to in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's part of the reason that, you know, people are saying like, oh, vendors are just saying that, so we'll buy it. Oh, okay, guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been posts going around, and for me, for us, it's not really, I mean, we don't really have any investment in commenting on stuff like that or telling people that it's going out of print because we're sold out. Like I can't get any more. So if you emailed me tomorrow and said, hey, I really want to get I listened to your podcast, I really want to get a case, can you hook me up? Sorry, I can't. I just can't. I can find out in a week or two if they have any more in stock, if they got, you know, after they fulfilled all of their pre-orders, if our distributors have any more in stock that they can sell. And then, yeah, maybe I can. But as of right now, I'm not allowed to get any more. Like they put a cap on everybody from ordering more. So there is no benefit to me telling you that it's going out of print or that it is out of print. Like Ultra Prism, they announced an out of print basically on release weekend and said, you know, it's not coming back. And I have no benefit in saying, you know, we have no benefit in saying, hey, this isn't coming back, so you better get them now from us. You know, like that doesn't, even when I knew that it was going out of print, I still sold our last couple of cases at the same price that we were selling them at, just because it was fair. Like I wasn't going to charge somebody more because I knew that they were going out of print. So we have no benefit in saying this, announcing this. I'm just giving it for information because it does play a value into talking about pre-order pricing, because then you may want to get your staples earlier on under the impression that, hey, these could increase in value fairly quickly, or they're going to stay the same in value, you know, for the long haul. Like the difference between this set and Ultra Prism, for example, is that this set has some nicer cards that aren't ultra rares, and it has a couple of playable ultra rares, whereas Ultra Prism, a lot of that stuff got sold off right away. Like Leafeon GX stayed pretty expensive for a little while, but eventually it fell because it just wasn't playable. And you'll get that. But as far as like long haul down the road, Glaceon, which hasn't seen a ton of play, is still maintaining a decent price point. And I think it's important because Cynthia is still maintaining a decent price point, and I expect that to go up, especially once rotation hits. So if you don't get your cards earlier on in the hopes that, hey, these pre-order prices are way out of whack, ever since Crimson Invasion came out, the pre-order prices have been a lot closer to what the cards have continued at, you know, than previously. Whereas like Evolutions, for example, Full Art Mega Charizard EX was, what was that, Dan? Like $100 when it came out, like pre-order pricing, and now you can get them for like 20 all day.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like when Crimson Invasion came out, Buzzwole was like a $7 card. Granted, it's a lot more playable now, and you barely find it for 14 as a regular art GX. So I do want to go through the pre-order pricing a little bit just to kind of give everybody an idea of where things are at. We have been taking quite a bit of pre-order lists, but we're doing the same thing, basically what we've done before, where you can send us our list. We're not taking any money until we pull the cards, and at that point we will look, you know, comb websites and comb everything to make sure that we are at least the lowest price out there, or match the lowest price out there, so that way we can give the best deal. And we do that to make sure that we can provide the community with the best possible offering to them, rather than taking advantage of, you know, $100 pre-order price just in case it goes down $10, $15 by the time of release. And that's when we get our, you know, let's say that's when we get our stock. We want to make sure we keep things fair. Unfortunately, with this set, because of the investments that we have had involving Madison, it's basically just Madison, all the planning that we have for Madison, there's a lot of money that we have tied up in Madison involving the team stage, our vendor booth, the stream, equipment for the stream, getting our casters and the production, getting casters, production team for both, like that stuff all adds up. So we're not able to get as much of this set as we did for like Ultra Prism, where we opened up around 50 boxes. This set will be lucky if we open up half that. So our stock is going to be mainly focused on what we can buy before the event for Madison, and then basically whatever we pull over between 20 and 25 boxes. So do you guys want to take a guess at, and you may already know this, what do you think the most expensive pre-release card, pre-order card is?
I actually haven't looked yet, but Gut says secret B-string.
I would say secret mysterious treasure or whatever.
You guys are both right.
Or are they tied?
Yeah, so pre-order pricing for Mysterious Treasure and B-String are both coming in at $87.99 for the secret rare.
Wow.
I don't think either of them will stay that.
No, they definitely won't. B-String is going to stay expensive. Mysterious Treasure, I do expect to drop a decent amount.
Well, especially with it, because... Sorry, I was just going to say, because B-String is a regular rare, right? It's not a...
B-String is a regular
uncommon.
Rare. Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be even harder to find. Like, there's going to be less of them.
Yeah, I think B-String is the first rare trainer we've had since Getsis?
Cynthia.
Cynthia was a rare? No, Cynthia's uncommon.
Why did I think Cynthia? I don't know why I said that. No.
Ace specs, but they, I mean, like, what?
They were around the same time. The Hyper Tools.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Headringer
Team
and
Flare
Jamming
tools.
Man.
Yeah, but I wouldn't count those either.
They were rares.
They were rares, but they were of a different breed. It was a different mechanic that they added in the game. I'm talking like just a trainer,
Then, Getsis or whatever the last A-Spec printed was.
Yeah. And that was an A-Spec, which you can only run one of in your deck. Like, you can have 4 Mysterious Treasure, you can have 4 B-String. Like, this is...
Wait, is Mysterious Treasure a rare also?
No, I think it's just an uncommon.
Okay, I was going to say, oh my gosh.
B-String is definitely a rare, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Mysterious Treasure, B-String, those are your 2 expensive ones. $87.99. Granted, there are more expensive one. Ultra Necrozma is your second one. The Hyper Rare is $49.99, so that's $50.
Okay.
Fun fact for you. Originally, the regular art on Ultra Necrozma GX was pre-ordering for about $9.99 when pre-orders first got released. Since then, it has jumped to about $20.
Jeez, you should have just pre-ordered all of them that troll had.
Yeah, if you pre-ordered, and that's basically what happened. Everybody sold out of their pre-order pricing. So some of these companies are like, okay, well, they'll list like 16 or 12. They expect to pull more, but just to keep it safe. And then when they see all these sell out right away, they're like, okay, we're going to try a new price. And this is the third time I've seen a price increase. So it started out at $9.99, went to $11.99, went to $14.99. Now it's at $19.99 for the regular art rare. So that's crazy. You've got Hyper Rare Lucario GX for $35.99, Hyper Rare Greninja GX for $34.99, Naganadel GX, the Hyper Rare, $34.99, and then the Full Art Rare Ultra Necrozma, $29.99. I'm not going to go through all of these. The Unit Energy Fairy Darkness Fighting Darkness Fairy, however you want to say it, $27.99. Diantha is the first full art trainer on the list at $24.99. Then you have Bonnie at $24.99. The full art Lucario, $23.99.
Isn't Diantha rare also?
That I can't tell you for
I
sure.
think the regular one's a hollow rare.
I'll let you know on Tuesday or Wednesday if you don't find out within the next 30 seconds.
Yep, it looks like it's a rare. Wow, it is a hollow rare.
Crazy.
What is going on? This is nuts.
Yeah. Just going down the list a little bit more. Your Beast Energy Prism Star tops the list for prisms at $11.99 and Diancie Prism Star, $11.99. Then you have the B-String Reverse Hollow Rare at $11.99. So this is your first non-ultra rare, basically. But $11.99 for a pre-order is pretty good. Even the B-string rare is higher than a lot of regular RGXs at $649 for pre-order.
I feel like that's a good price.
Mm-hmm. And then Malamar, the reverse holo rare, $499. So there's some, like, your cheapest GXs are going to be Dialga GX, $549. Evital GX, Xerneas GX, Palkia GX, those are all $499. Mysterious Treasure has an uncommon, $449. What does Mysterious Treasure do that it's so good?
Searches Lele.
Okay. Evital GX, $399. So there's some. I mean, you have some cheap cards in here, and you have some super expensive cards in here. The Antha is a holo rare. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's $349. Then you have Buzzwole, the card that Dan was talking about before. That's a rare reverse holo for $299. The thing about cracking booster boxes, like you see YouTube channels that open up 1,000 packs at a time or something like that. It's very difficult to get your investment back well after the set releases. Like taking advantage of pre-order hype or people who like to fill their collections right away, like fill up their master sets right away. That's what gets you your investment back and makes you a little bit of profit. Otherwise, cracking packs, that's why a lot of times you'll see, like with Lucario GX boxes, we ordered a lot of Lucario GX boxes and opened up virtually none of the packs inside. Like we just sold those packs at, $2.50, $2 to $3 each. Because the Lucario GX and the code is what helped people profit. It was the same with like the Zoroark GX boxes. Other than that, it's not worth it to open up the pack and hope for that Cynthia or hope for that Tapu Lele or hope for that Charizard Hyper Rare, because the chances of you pulling it are so slim. So it's just not worth it. So the only time that you see a lot of these bigger companies, like a lot of these TCG companies, they don't make a lot of money off of pre-orders, but they can make their investment back and a little bit of money, which then helps them be able to buy at lower prices and sell. It helps them keep up the game until the next set releases, basically.
Making a lot of sense.
Perfect. That's what I try and do.
Doing a wonderful job.
Well, thank you. So I'm excited for Forbidden Light to come out.
I think this is a good
I like
set.
new sets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of changed my mind a little bit where I was going originally, because originally when I was looking at this set, I was like, well, this is garbage. I'm not going to like anything in this set. But there's definitely some decent stuff in here now after I've started reading some more analysis, watching some of the videos. Like, it's tough when you don't play the game a whole lot, especially for like Darren and myself, who are very far removed from the game, whereas opposed to like Dan gets to play every once in a while because he streams. So then he can kind of keep an idea on what's going on in the game. It can be very difficult to keep up. Like, we read the card scans and everything, but if you're not discussing the meta frequently, it's tough to keep up with what cards are going to be good, or what you can partner stuff up with. Like, we knew about Malamar because Rukan's been talking about Malamar Mew since 2010.
Basically. I mean, so just to reiterate your point, the most hyped trainer, other than, of course, Mysterious Treasure, at my Pokemon League is Metal Frying Pan.
Really?
Yeah. It would be because one of my league goers, Oscar, he only plays Metal, so he's really hyped on that.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say about Forbidden Light?
I might hit up a pre-release. I really like this set.
What day do you have one up there?
I think Saturday is the one in Economawalk.
Oh, okay.
There's one at Pegasus on Sunday, but that's when my tournament's going on.
And Darren's tournament's going to be better.
I don't know about better, but it's gonna. But I'll be there, so
so it's better.
It'll be great.
Dan, anything else you want to say about Forbidden Light?
No, I'm good with Forbidden Light, but there's some more breaking news.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Mime GX the third. Prevent all attacks that do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100.
What? Everything 0 to 100?
Yes. 0 to 400.
No, we have now all of the cards from the Champion Road revealed. There's some pretty interesting things on here, like a Steelix.
Ooh.
Yeah, but better than that, we have all the trainers that are coming out in the set.
Oh, but no Primeape GX.
Yet.
So I
don't know what two of these are, but there's Energy Switch, Super Scoop Up, Rare Candy, Life Herb, Friend Ball, Pokénav Switch, Lure Ball, Underground Expedition, TV Reporter. This guy, his name is Kurt. We've never had this card before, so that one's new. Bill's Maintenance and Copycat.
Wow.
So for those of you who don't remember the reprints, Friend Ball. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon, search your deck for a baby Pokemon, basic Pokemon, or evolution card of the same type, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. Obviously, that'll be reworded differently since there's no baby Pokemon anymore. Life Herb reads flip a coin of heads, choose one of your Pokemon, excluding Pokemon EX, remove all special conditions and 6 damage counters from that Pokemon. Obviously, that will be worded differently also. Pokénav, which says, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and choose a basic Pokemon evolution card or energy card, show it to your opponent, put it into your hand. Put the other 2 cards back on the top of your deck in any order. And Lure Ball, which says, flip 3 coins for each head, choose an evolution card from your discard pile, show it to your opponent, put it into your hand. And then Underground Expedition, which says, look at the bottom 4 cards of your deck, put 2 of those cards into your hand and the other remaining cards into the bottom of your deck in any order.
Interesting.
And then Copycat, shuffle your hand into your deck, draw the same amount of cards that your opponent has in their hand. And Bill's Maintenance. I don't remember what this one does.
A lot of cards.
What does Steelix do?
They don't have all the things up for it yet, so I'm uncertain. Its first attack for 2 colorless does 30 damage, and then its second attack for metal colorless does 80 plus, and then an effect that I can't read, but there's a 40 there. It looks like flip 1 coin if heads. This attack does 40 more damage. So it's pretty bad, but it has 190 HP.
Yeah, that is super bulky.
So
4 retreat cost and 190 HP.
Wow.
So Bill's Maintenance was, if you have any cards in your hand, shuffle one of them in your deck, then draw 3 cards. So if these are exact reprints, Bill's Maintenance is pretty bad. Underground Expedition, not great.
These Neo Genesis reprints, though?
Some of them, yeah. A lot of Neo Genesis and
Discovery.
Expedition.
Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Love art. Sneasel.
I wish I knew what these did. This one, the Tyranitar's first attack looks like flip 2 coins, 60 times the amount of heads. I have no idea what its second attack does, but there's definitely something about 1 coin in there.
And 60.
And 60. So
your attacks of your opponents do 60 less damage or something like that.
No idea. But there's also the Lantern that I'm sure has a super cool ability. Same with Soul Rock.
Is Donphan going to have Spinning Wheel as its second attack?
No.
You never know.
Sure, probably not. One thing I was really hoping to see out of this Clay Doll. Maybe next time.
No Clay Doll.
That's okay. Yeah, head over to Poke Beach if you want to check these out. I'm sure we'll talk more about them next week because we'll have more translations in. But
yeah,
I like the way Champions Road.
They've got all of them down to Cacturn right now, so we don't need to talk about these now, though. We're going over for sure.
We can move on. Mr. Mime was the important one.
Yeah, and then the Super Scoop Up, it's the art with the Magnemite. Which is best art?
Ludicolo.
All right. You guys want to get a little bit deeper?
Deep.
How much deeper?
I don't know. I'm changing up the DannyBox a little bit this week, I guess.
Oh. Go on.
Oh. So I'm not doing like a success story or anything like that. This is more just like I titled this DannyBox What I Like About You because I just wanted to talk about teamwork and I wanted to talk about
What I like about you.
Exactly, that's where I got it from. Because we like to sing. I just want to talk about what makes this work and what makes it work for us and what makes it work if you're looking at starting a business of some sort, whether it be a trading card business or whether it be any type of business really, and you want to go into it with friends or you want to go into it with partners. It's very difficult sometimes to build a business with friends. It can be because, first of all, you have to have the right cohesiveness. You have to have the right energy together. You have to make sure that you don't get too far ahead of yourself. You don't lose yourself. You know, you want to stay true to everything. You don't want to blame others. And I don't think I give enough credit to Dan and Darren out loud and vocally. So what I like about you is more talking about why this business works, why now is the best time for this business to work, and why I think Dan and Darren are the best two business partners that I could possibly ask for. Because I think together as a cohesive group, we bring a lot to the table that tackles just about everything that you would want out of a business. We are the tripod together. And when one of us, you know, the tripod only stands if all three legs are working, if all three legs are together at the same time. So I just want to go over a little bit of what I love about Dan and Darren, and then I'll jump into the DannyBox a little bit further. But Dan, what kind of attracted me to working with Dan as a business partner is just his overall sense of street smarts. Like, Dan is super charismatic and super charming. And if you've ever talked to Dan before, you already know this. He's very dynamic, very ambitious. He sets super unrealistically high goals, like buying Amazon, being bigger than Amazon, buying all the trading card companies out there, doing all this stuff. And it's crazy. And it sounds super crazy. But since he's so passionate and since he's so dedicated, I know that what he's saying he's not joking when he says stuff like that, even though it comes off as a joke. Like, he truly believes that he can do that. And because I believe in him so much, I believe it also. Dan is like is just one of the greatest salespeople because of who he is as a person and how smart and charismatic and charming he is. Like, he could sell a screen door to a submarine operator. Like, that's really how good he is. He's influential, he's inspiring, he's dedicated, and he's super loyal. When it comes to Darren has this intelligence factor and this smartness that just makes me super jealous sometimes because he retains information so well. And if he doesn't know something, he finds it like right away. He knows exactly where to look. He's the first one to admit, hey, I don't know the answer, but I'll figure it out immediately. So he's super well researched, and his dedication is basically unparalleled. He's extremely loyal and extremely caring, and he's willing to take on more than his fair share of work, his fair share of the load, because he's constantly looking to improve others prior to improving himself. He's one of the best critical thinkers I know, and he's always willing to go the extra mile to learn whatever it takes, like some of the goals that Darren has set before about things. And I think that this goes true with both of you. Like, we came into this business not really knowing anything, and some of the stuff that Darren has taken on, like learning and improving, like this podcast started out as just garbage, and he's turned it into something much better than what it is. Like, our YouTube channel, while it's not to the point where we want it to be, Darren has taken that, doing his editing, doing research on tags to put in, how to get more hits, how to grow the channel, the social media aspects that he brings, making sure that he's well researched when it comes to how many times to post, what to post. Growing those channels is like just fabulous. And that's why we are successful now. It's because these three legs working together and the things that you guys bring to the table make everything perfect. So jumping into my little spiel, I think that right now, we are currently in the perfect situation. We're building the perfect business and the perfect brand. Times have completely changed with the average consumer. Gone are the days where people just get in their car, drive to the store, and buy something for their hobby. Come have the days where people purchase based on ideas, based on motivation, based on appeal. We are creating a brand and an industry and a community. We aren't just selling cards. We are selling an idea. So it's not just all this cardboard that we're selling. We're selling a brand. Our product is not and has never been cardboard. Our product is a lifestyle. Our product is a friendship, and our product is an idea of a cohesive community. One of the things that we do is we think outside the box. We're selling entertainment. We're selling ourselves and everything that we do, how we act, the content that we provide, the relationships that we build, all of our different specs of our content, our pro team, our website, our stream, our podcast, our YouTube channel, and our social media outlets are just small facets on our product. This economy is primed for a takeover for this business. Through consistent interaction, brand management, and consumer recognition, we have the current ability to take over control of the market and form a new experience in the TCG industry if we continue the path that we have laid. Now is not the time to rest, but the time to rise. Now is the time to take over and establish. Now is the time to set ourselves apart, increase margins, embrace growth, and capture new audiences. None of us is as smart as all of us. Alone, we can do very little, but together we can do so much. We are redefining the term teamwork. We are working together toward a common vision. We are directing individual accomplishments towards organizational objectives. Together, we can develop the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. We need to do a better job of being aware of what others are doing, start applauding each other's efforts, acknowledging successes, and encouraging each other in pursuits. When we all help each other, we all win. No matter how brilliant your mind or your strategy is, if you're playing solo, you will lose to a team. That is what makes a team so strong. We have never been as successful as we are today. Now is the time to take over. Now is the time to be epic. There is no better time than now. I wrote that down and read it. I just didn't want to mess it up and not be able to say it all. But all I'm trying to get to is that together we form something that nobody else can offer. We're forming something. It's not like a lot of other businesses where we take out this giant loan, buy a ton of product, hire somebody to start up a website. We're doing this all from the ground up. We're building this all together. And because of the aspects that you guys bring to the table, because of the things that you guys do, like Dan with his charm, Darren with his intelligence, like the things that you guys bring to the table, we need to use that stuff because it is so unparalleled in the business world that we're in today. When I say gone are the times of people just getting in their car and driving to the store, I mean, that is truly a fact. There's people that go to our website and buy, even though we may not have cards completely updated in pricing, and pay more at our website just because of the relationships that you guys have built. We need to start taking advantage of those capabilities, of those it factors that you guys have, because now is the time to do it. We are moving into what will be our biggest time ever, and it could be, the biggest thing that ever happens to this business. Now is the perfect time to do it. And you find these breaking points in every business all the time. And it's leaning on your team, because together we make that tripod, and together we can do what any one person can't do. We can do what any non-cohesive team can't do. So it's a little bit different of a DannyBox this week, but it's fitting because we're moving into Madison, and it's fitting for other people who are in business, especially people who are working with others, because you got to play off of everybody's strengths. And that's it.
That's very kind.
Perfect. Does that all make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Holy moly. I wish you guys could see my face right now. Gleaming.
I'm hyped.
Well, good.
I feel a lot better. Cool. Good.
Yeah, also Jeff Bezos coming for you.
Get him.
Also, breaking news. No, I'm just kidding. Let's move on to our top 5
No,
this week.
and also just real quick, Danny, thank you. Like that does mean a lot. And I don't think Darren or I will sit here and say that we're the best at what we do, but the reason at least me, the reason that I'm good at what I'm doing definitely is in part to you. And I can't imagine doing this with anyone else or with someone as smart on the business side of things as you are. Like you're legit. Like when it comes to all the numbers and the stupid things that I don't care about as much as I probably should. You're like the smartest guy I know.
Well, thank you. You guys make it easy. But we don't have to get too sappy.
Right.
Let's move on to Pokemon that we don't even realize exist anymore.
Oh man, this one was fun.
Yeah, it's amazing when you look at like all the Pokemon that are out there. I actually had a hard time only finding 5 that I'm like, what?
I wrote down 10 Pokemon. It's like I went through the whole Pokedex and I only wrote down the ones that said that I looked at and I thought, oh wow, that guy or whatever. I ended up with 10, but I'll start off with number 5. I'll go first this week.
Do you want to give your 6 through 10 first?
Sure. I wrote down Komala, Sunkern, Sunflora, Girafarig, Chatot.
Girafarig? Come on.
I totally forgot.
It's spelled the same way. It's backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
It's one of those race car words. Interesting. I never knew that.
Yes, you did.
No, this is wow. Wow.
Oh.
I never knew that. I'm gonna every time I catch one of these now, race car.
Race car. There you
Name
go.
it race car.
Taco
All right.
Cat.
What's your number 5?
Dan.
Alomomola.
Oh,
That's my number 5.
My number 5 is Bonsley.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say my honorable mention, which was number 6, is Sock. I forget about Sock all the time. But my number 5 is Vullaby.
Vullaby. Oh, the thing that evolves into Mandibuzz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little egg bird. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty forgettable.
Yeah. Do you think these are just like mistakes? Like just wanted. I mean, you've always got to have forgettable Pokemon, but ones that are just never good in competitive play.
I mean,
in
there's
TCG or VGC.
807 of them now. There's some
That's
are
true.
going to be forgettable. I didn't write down any from Gen 1. I think
Me
that
neither.
has something to do with it. Like, I think the older Pokemon get, the less forgettable they come, if that makes sense.
I agree. All right, Dan, what's your number 4?
What's Darren's number 5? Did he say?
Yeah.
I said
said
Bonsley.
Bonsley.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bonesley. My number 4 was Cryogonal.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely forgettable.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is Darumaka.
Oh, man.
Okay. I think I used that as on one of my teams.
The only reason that one was it was my starter Pokemon in a Nuzlocke that I streamed once upon a time.
Oh, okay.
Dar Binks. Rest in peace. Bless.
My number 4 is Swalot.
Oh, man. I didn't write down any Gen 3 because of Gen 3 being my favorite gen.
Oh.
Yep.
So you like Swalot? Or?
I do. I'm a big
That's
fan.
fair.
Low key. One of my favorite
Don't.
Pokemon.
Don't say
Oh,
it.
okay.
Get out of
Get
here.
out of here. No kidding.
All right, my number 3 is Carnivine.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's a
didn't-
dinosaur.
My number 3
What?
is also Carnivine.
Really?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it is.
Carnivine. Also, Danny, what do you think Carnivine is? Because it is not a dinosaur.
What is it, a fish?
It is a plant.
Oh. You're really going to like my number 3 then.
Clearly. What?
My number 3 is Maractus.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. My number 2 is Quillfish.
Sure.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is Cacturn.
Dude, stop. You're breaking my heart.
My number 2 is Mothim.
That one, you know what? When I went by it, I was like, I almost wrote it down and then didn't. I was close. That whole line, Burmy Wormadon Mothim.
Mm-hmm. It's a bad line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My number 1 is Maractus.
There you go.
That was my number 1. I was like, that was the only one that when I saw it, I was like, I totally legit forgot about this one. Like that was the only one that I like really, really forgot about.
That's how I am with my number 1.
So my number 1, I'm sure you guys aren't going to like it, but earlier this week,
I
was playing Pokemon Go. And a Corphish popped up, and I go, "Hey, Corphish, cool." And then I caught it, and I looked down, and I'm like, "Wait, Corphish evolves into something?"
Oh my god, Darren!
And I had no clue that there was such a Pokemon as Crawdaunt. So Crawdaunt is my number 1.
Cool.
Yeah, he looks super cool. I won't forget him again.
He's been playable.
He was relevant. He was part of the BDIF for like...
Dude, I completely forgot.
6
like,
months.
Now that you say that, I can recall now owning Crawdaunt cards, but at like this past
Wasn't
week...
it like your opponent can't... Or discard a special energy from your opponent or something?
When you evolve it, discard an energy attached to the active.
Yeah, so it's big for against Toad. Anti-Toad.
And for Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Toad Crawdaunt was the thing, and then Shaman came out.
It's
my number 1 is... Should I say my number 1?
Yeah,
I don't know if we're still talking about Connor. It's Chingling.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I still have no idea what that thing is.
It evolves into Chime Echo.
No.
It's a baby Pokemon.
Not in my world.
Oh. I think that might be one of the few cards that's never been printed. Like one of the few Pokemon. I don't think there's ever been a Chingling card. Because every time Echo's been a stage 1, and I don't think they've printed baby Pokemon since Chingling came out in Gen 4.
Wow.
So yeah, that's as far as the TCG is concerned. I bet the TCG players who aren't like actual like Pokemon fans, they have no idea what Chingling is. I bet that would top a lot of people's list.
Hey. Nope, there are at least 3 different Chingling cards.
Well, how?
Supreme Victors.
Are there stage 1 Chimecos?
Let's see. Here is a Chingling, level 7, basic, and then its Pokepower is Baby Evolution.
I didn't know. Dang, don't listen to me talk, apparently.
So yeah, there's a few Chinglings. I think Mantike is like the only one that only has 1 card ever made for it.
So there was baby Pokemon at one point in time. Okay, because Mantike, same thing.
Yeah.
Mantike. And Mantine. Mantine's another one I probably could have wrote down. But Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, like the Mantine Surf thing is like, all right, that's why I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
If Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon never came out, I probably would have wrote Mantine down.
Yeah, so that was fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a great question. Not question. Top 5, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I think it's crazy that there was 2 Maractus and 2 Carnivine. and a Crawdaunt, Darren.
Shh. I only put that as my number 1 because I had a legitimate story about like just like a couple days ago. I was like, "What is this?"
That's actually why Quillfish was on my list. I ran into it playing Crystal. What the heck? Quillfish.
Cool.
Well,
there you go. We can move
sorry,
into
you guys. I didn't do weekly top 5.
There you go. So now we can move into our
question of the week.
Perfect.
I just damned that one.
What does that mean?
I sang it the same as you would have sang it if you did the singing for that. I just mimicked your top 5 is all. That's all. That's all I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Mimicry.
So you just soooooooo'd me.
Get Shrek'd. I'm a tree. Oh man. Last week we wanted to know. Sorry. In a much better mood all of a sudden for no reason. Can't think of a reason why.
No reason at all.
Last week we wanted to know, what is your favorite Pokemon with an ability? Let's start with our Discord channel. Our first response comes from Jack Black, and he said Decidueye for sure. Then we had Kraken Cove respond with Garbotoxin Garbodor is by far my favorite ability. I love running disruption decks and leveling the playing field by ridding it of abilities. DDG Chris says, in standard, based off the ability alone and how cool it is, I like Bastiodon's Earthen Shield and Darkrai. As far as usefulness, probably Wonder Tag. Mitten Militia says Giratina EX. I used this all the time and expanded against Mega Ray. And Colin says Seviper because it makes Toad Poison a thing. Heart emoji. Very cool. Off to Facebook. Right, we had quite a few responses. I'm just gonna pick a couple because we are well over time. Gian said Gardevoir, Secret Spring, of course. Cam said Overflow on Plasmalugia. Avery said Greninja Break. Zaya said I would say Cosmic Power or Telepass, but we have to say an ability, not a Pokepower. So I've always been a fan of abilities similar to Rain Dance, and Dynamotor abilities are also pretty cool. And let's take one more. Lewis says Garbotoxin. Jason says Garbotoxin. There's a lot of Garbotoxin, honestly. Very popular. And just a couple from Twitter. Have a lot of responses on Twitter. Holy smokes. All right.
Ooh, Mia said Dusknoir.
Of course. Our first response on Twitter came from Mia. It came about 1 minute after posting the question, maybe even less. It was just a picture of Dusknoir. Got it ready to go all the time.
Shocker.
Yeah,
right. Had no idea.
At Pokemon Tiana said Octillery, Abyssal Hand for sure. Harrison Hodges says Greninja GX. Let's scoot up. At Bale Scale says Solgaleo with Ultra Road. And let's take one more. And it's gonna go to Keshvinder, Decidueye's Feather Arrow. Way too good. And back in the day, Gengar's Curse was messed up. There you go. Question of the week. Success. Awesome.
Mine is Crawdons.
Real nice. Real nice. I had a Toad Crawdon deck.
I mean, to be fair, we were doing like forgettable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Darren did all this stuff and then totally forgot about it.
100% forgot about it.
I mean, it's a good answer.
Oh man,
I don't know what my favorite ability is. I didn't prepare for this one. I'm gonna say Electric Dynamo.
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I also like Free Flight Zubat. I don't know why. I just think it was because, I mean, it was such a cool card. Even though its ability wasn't even that... I mean, it was good. It just wasn't anything super, super good. It just made it so much more relevant, I think. And I think that's like right when like that deck was winning right when I came into the game. So that plays a factor also.
For me, I think Versatile with Mew is super cool. Like, I've thought about it for a whole week solid, and probably most nostalgic is Mew with Versatile. Legendary Treasures was kind of right when I came in, and that's one of my favorite full art cards is the Radiant Collection Mew EX, so there you go.
There we go. What question do we want to ask this week?
Well, we talked about a lot of stuff in this episode. We could have a question that has to do with Champions Road coming out soon. Like, we could ask, what old card would you like to see reprinted?
I like that.
I think that's a great question.
Everyone say Clay Doll. Because maybe it'll happen.
Everyone say Primeape GX.
So here we go.
That would be a new card.
Let's make a stipulation on it. It has to be before Black and White.
Yes.
All right. So
let's do another one before Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Black and White's close enough to that.
Fine. There's only 4 sets, but all right. I want Froggator Prime back. So
yeah, let us know what you think. Any card from before Black and White would you like to see reprinted in a coming set? Talk to us on our Twitter, on our Facebook, in our Discord channel, or send us an email, and we just might read your response.
Comment on a YouTube video.
Do it. Why not? Jump in a Twitch chat. It'll be great. We want you there anyway. But yeah, that's our question of the week. Cool.
Awesome. The week.
With that, we can move into our buy-sell trade of the week, which I will keep pretty brief this week because there wasn't anything super exciting that I purchased, but there was a lot of stuff that I did purchase. I have made it a goal to buy and sell a lot every single day. So I talked last week about a lot of staples that I bought. It was more of the same. I got in all those staples that I bought last week, and I'm looking at a stack of like 75 Bridgets, which is pretty crazy to me. But I bought more. I bought more Bridgets, more Floatstones, more Max Elixirs, more Parallel Cities. I brought some older stuff, which Dan would probably be more excited about, like Pokemon Collector. There's a Rockets Admin. There's a couple of Oracles. Just some older stuff, which is really cool. There's a Blaziken EX. And then I bought a lot of Zoroarks and a lot of Tapu Leles. I do expect Tapu Lele to climb in price even more than what it is. I talked about this a little bit last week, I think, and I talked about it a little bit in my vlog with Guardians Rising. Expect it to be going out of print soon if it hasn't already. I do expect Tapu Lele to rise in price because it will be much less accessible, especially during the time when rotation hits. You get a lot of new players coming back into the game, a lot of old players not necessarily leaving the game, but taking time off. So they're going to hold on to their Tapu Leles. A lot of those newer players coming back into the game or coming into the game either sold off their Tapu Leles to try and take advantage of the price hike, not realizing that it was probably going to go back up eventually. So I expect Tapu Lele to hit that $50 to $60 range for the regular art, probably $65 to $70 for the full art, and closer to that $80 mark for the Rainbow Rare. That will probably happen around September, October.
How much did you spend on the admin?
You don't even want to know. It was in a lot that I bought for $113.
Wow. I did.
With a lot of stuff in it. Like there was a couple Greninja breaks in it. It was very worth it.
Holy.
It's very worth it, but it was a lot of it was mostly just staples, Max Elixirs, and then some older cards that had the Oracles in it. I mean, it was a good lot to buy.
Awesome. That's awesome.
With that, we can move into our open discussion. We've been doing a lot of work on preparing for Madison, which we talked a lot about last week. Don't forget to go to Pokevault.com. Use the promo code DEADDRAW to receive 10% off your order. Dan got his in today, and he shot a YouTube video about it, so he's super excited about that because he got...
I'm excited for Danny to watch it.
I'm excited to watch it. Did you buy something for me?
I don't know. You'll have to watch a video to find out what I bought.
I guess so. I will be recording some additional vlogs next week because we got Forbidden Light coming out. So maybe I will record a box opening or something like that and try and do some fun stuff, whatever I can do. Other than that, I don't really have anything for open discussion, so I'll let Darren take open discussion.
I would love to take the second leg of open discussion and say that my buy sell trade of the week was a buy. I bought a table, you guys.
Oh, heck yeah.
I bought a table and it will become a stream table.
Oh, I thought you bought a kitchen table.
No. We got a table. I think it'll be just about the right size. I'm gonna cut some holes in it, and I'm gonna put some plexiglass in there, and I'm gonna put some boxes under there, and we're gonna have ourselves prize cams for Madison Regionals.
Nice.
Great. This is exciting stuff. I'm pumped. I'm so glad. Jace found the table. My wife found the table. And actually, she even paid for it. So maybe I shouldn't take any credit for this. But I'm gonna be the one, like putting it all together. So good stuff. It was a good day. How about you, Dan?
The only thing that I have that over the course of the Thursday to Monday, I think I'm gonna try to do some IRL streams when I'm back in Grand Forks.
Dude, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Can you stream from inside of Infinity Wars and then I can just watch it on Twitch?
No, not gonna.
Oh, I'd like to see it. I'm just really busy.
Sounds like a super great way to get banned.
Yes.
It does sound like a bad idea.
So I'm gonna do us all a favor and not get banned.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else, Dan?
Nope.
All right. Well, then you can take us home.
All right. So, you guys, if you enjoyed episode number 81 of Deaddrawgaming, a Pokemon TCG podcast like no one ever was, make sure to hit that like button down below and share this podcast with all of your friends. And make sure to check us out for episode number 2, where we're going to tell you guys all about what happened at the LAIC. But that is all we have for you guys this week. So for Danny, for Darren, I'm Dan. We will see you next time.